This is Dan Dix here reporting for Press for Truth. I can't be PC about this anymore. The LGBTQ++ add your letter community has been royally pissing me off because they're taking this whole fight to be whatever you want to be way too far. You've won, guys. You're here, you're queer, and everyone got used to it. Nobody cares anymore. You can pretty much do whatever you want. You can even get married at this point. You can celebrate your pride by prancing around in the streets half naked, so you've won, guys, and good for you. But when you bring children into the picture, I have a serious problem with what you're doing, and your irresponsible, dangerous enabling ways will be exposed for the wickedness that it is. Now, I'm going to warn you, the following clip is difficult to watch, but try to get through it. It's important to understand what we're dealing with here and just how bad things have gotten.
At Rainbow Day Camp, kids sing silly songs, play ball, make art, and do wacky relay races. But what makes this summer program unique is the campers it serves, transgender children, some as young as 4 years old. It's a place where they can use the pronoun of their choice and meet other transgender kids and adults, including many of the camp counselors.
They're following their creative interests, and they don't have this added stress or weight of being othered. They get to be their most authentic selves and build community with other people who understand the same life experience.
People aren't like, oh, they're more like, okay, that's cool, and then we just move on.
Transgender fluid person.
Sandra Collins, a former college professor, started the program 2 years ago after she struggled to find a camp where her transgender daughter Scarlett would feel comfortable.
You know, I used to say that the camp began out of sadness because of this experience, but a friend encouraged me to reframe it, that the camp began out of love, out of trying to create a safe space for my daughter and then other kids who were like her.
Enrollment has since tripled to 60 campers from California and beyond.
I like to be who I am, and it's not fun to be who I am not.
Experts say the camp's growth mirrors the sharp increase in transgender children across the country.
We are definitely seeing more kids, many more kids socially transitioning at very young ages. And the reason we're seeing them more is because we're looking for them and letting them be found.
For critics who question whether preschool-age kids should be allowed to transition so early, developmental psychologist DIANE says children can identify their gender at a very young age.
We expect a 2-year-old to know, I am boy, I am girl. So why can't that also apply to transgender children?
Banana slug.
Molly Maxwell says that's what happened when her child was a toddler.
Once she learned to talk and have a voice, she was very insistent that she was not a boy, she was a girl, and to call her a girl.
James KAPLAN's mom doesn't regret allowing her child to transition.
I had to mourn the loss of my daughter and at the same time welcome my son and get to know him. And as soon as he transitioned, he was happier, he was confident.
And building confidence and community is what Rainbow Day Camp is all about.
This is child abuse. And these people have demonstrated that they're not even fit to be pet owners, yet alone parents who are looking after children. The article that goes along with this clip is just as troubling as what you just witnessed. Check this out. Transgender camp teaches kids they're normal, not alone. At check-in each day, campers make a name tag with their pronoun of choice. Some opt for she or he, or a combination of she and he, or they, or no pronoun at all. Some change their names or pronouns daily to see what feels right. So a child as young as 4 years old can decide to be gender fluid, meaning he or she can be whatever it wants to be at any given time. If you as an adult cater to this and encourage this kind of behavior, well, I can only hope and pray that God has mercy on your soul. On a sunny July morning at camp, the theme was Crazy Hair Day, and a 6-year-old Gracie Maxwell was dancing in the sunshine as a Miley Cyrus song blasted from outdoor speakers. Because naturally, that's what you want your 4 to 12-year-old child listening to at transgender camp. Once she could talk, I don't remember a time when she didn't say, I'm a girl, said her mother, Molly Maxwell, who still trips over pronouns but tries to stick to she. Then it grew in intensity. "I'm a sister, I'm a daughter, I'm a princess," Maxwell said. We would argue with her. She was confused. We were confused. These people are incredibly confused, all right. And normally I wouldn't care. People can do whatever they want, so long as they're not hurting anyone. But you see, this is where they've crossed a line, because these children are being psychologically abused. And we as a society cannot continue to just look the other way in the name of remaining politically correct. Gender specialists say the camp's growth reflects what they are seeing in gender clinics nationwide. Increasing number of children coming out as transgender at young ages. They credit the rise to greater openness and awareness of LGBT issues and parenting tuning in earlier when a child shows signs of gender dysphoria or distress about their gender. You see, the reason why this is a growing phenomenon is because these so-called mental health experts have refrained from calling transgender thoughts or transgender feelings a mental illness, which is what it is, and they're now referring to it as gender dysphoria. And they're encouraging these young, impressionable minds to go ahead with their transitioning. I exposed one of these twistedly sick individuals in my video, "Are You Transgender? Mental Health Expert Exposed?" I'll leave a link to that one at the end of this video so you can watch it, and hopefully you can help spread the word about what these so-called mental health experts are doing to these kids. A lot of these kids have been bullied and had trauma at school. This is a world where none of that exists, and they're in the majority, Collins said. That's a new experience for kids who are used to hiding and feeling small. Well, you know what? The world is a tough and scary place, and the more cozy little safe spaces that you nerf these kids into, the more ill-equipped and unprepared these kids are going to be when dealing with this thing we all call the real world. The favored protocol today is known as the gender affirmative approach, which focuses on identifying and helping transgender children to socially transition, to live as the gender they identify with rather than the one they were born with until they're old enough to decide on medical options like puberty blockers. What? Alright, stop this ride. I want to get off. They just said you should help the child socially transition until they're old enough to make the medical decision on whether or not to take puberty blockers. So pre-puberty, these people think that these children are old enough to decide whether or not they should go through puberty. How is this not child abuse? At Rainbow Day Camp, a therapist is on hand to talk if kids want. Therapy sessions are extended to parents at a support group after morning drop-off. Many counselors are transgender, which offers campers upbeat role models. This is not a role model. This is a mentally unstable individual. And all these parents are doing is creating a safe space echo chamber so they can cater to their child's delusion, all because they're too PC to live in reality. The article goes on to say that even a 3-year-old child should be able to decide what gender they are. I mean, I don't even know what to say anymore. This has gotten so far out of hand, and it needs to stop. Click the like button so that these PC parents will hopefully see this video and maybe think twice about sending their kids to transgender camp. And don't forget to check us out on patreon.com/pressfortruth, where as a PFT patron, you can get access to the patron members only stream. Or if you prefer, you can make a contribution to us directly at pressfortruth.ca/donate. And thank you so much to anybody who has joined us. Your support is greatly appreciated. Thanks for watching, guys. Leave a comment and share this video if the information resonates with you. And stay tuned, guys. We've got more video reports coming soon. This is Dan Dix reporting for Press for Truth.